There's a question that Tanzanian government sympathizers and apologists have been asking us. They think that this question lets the government off the hook. They don't realize, though, that this question is actually incriminating the government. The question is this: if you're claiming that thousands of Tanzanians have been killed, or even hundreds, where are the bodies? They do not know that the people already have an answer to that question. To help you understand the answer that the people have, I'm going to take you back to July 2024 in a place called Mukuru Kwenjenga in Nairobi. There's a quarry in this place. In July 2024, the local people discovered mutilated bodies in that quarry. When they began to retrieve those bodies, the police came and told them to stop. They threatened them that if you continue retrieving these bodies, you're going to be charged with murder. So the people stopped. Lo and behold, a short while later, that quarry was set on fire. Clearly, somebody wanted to destroy the evidence that there were mutilated bodies right there in that quarry. You see, this happened at a time when the public was saying, Kenyan public was saying that the police had in fact killed more people than was being said. And so these bodies that were discovered began to lend credence to what the people had been saying all along. Why would some people rush to destroy that evidence, rush to burn up that place, if there was no evidence, if that was not incriminating evidence? Now, you've got to link that with what people in Tanzania are now saying. They are saying that a lot of bodies have been dumped to a cement factory where they are being destroyed. They are being destroyed. You see, when you burn bodies, it becomes that more difficult to prove the identities of these people. And if you cannot even prove the identities of people, how are you going to put faces and names to that? And if you can't put faces and names to the deceased, how are you going to have an accurate number that this number of people were actually killed in these operations? Which is why we are demanding that an immediate fact-finding mission from the United Nations goes to Tanzania. We are demanding for an immediate fact-finding mission from SADC, the Southern Africa Development Community, to go to Tanzania. We're demanding for an immediate fact-finding mission from the African Union to go into Tanzania. And we're demanding for an immediate fact-finding mission from the International Criminal Court to go into Tanzania. Without doing that, it is possible for a government that has completely lost touch with the people, a government that is brutalizing the people, to begin erasing the evidence of the heinous murders.
As we have been saying for a few days now, we have been collecting evidence of the atrocities and the massacre that has happened in Tanzania. And despite the media blackout, human beings always find a way. And right now we are seeing the videos, the footage that is coming from Tanzania. And in very simple terms, it is a bloodbath. It is a massacre. And we cannot allow ourselves as Africans to accept such a thing happening in any country in Africa. We are also receiving information that the Tanzanian government is trying to hide what has happened by going to hospitals and morgues, collecting bodies. We don't even understand where they're going to take those bodies to. At the same time, they are moving across shops, that are strategically positioned, collecting CCTV evidence. This is a very clear indication that they're trying to hide the atrocities that have been committed. We are saying, as Kenyans, as Africans, we cannot let this just pass like that. As Africans, I want to strongly condemn what has happened.
Alright, welcome back. Today's video is not a just easy thing to talk about, like it's a normal thing, no, but it is necessary to be talked about. Because what we are seeing today in part of Africa right now is not just political failure. It is a human tragedy, and silence is becoming part of the crime. Alright, this video is focusing on the allegation about coming from Tanzania and why they painfully echo what we already saw in the year 2024 in Kenya. Right? So reports are coming from Tanzania describing the horrifying situation about the body people who have been killed in Tanzania. They claim that the bodies of civilians are being quietly collected from the hospital and mortuaries, removed without families' consent, and buried in the mass graves. Some reports suggest that over 500 people have already been buried in this way, this manner. Even more troubling are that CCTVs footage are being seized, and no one can be able to see them, or no one can be able to find out what's happening in Tanzania. Actions that raises serious questions about whether evidence is being deliberately destroyed in Tanzania. Families say are being denied that the most basic human right, the right to identify, to mourn, and bury their own loved ones. And if this whole thing is true, this is not just a governance. This is just brutality in the country. Let's be real. Let's be slow. Let's be true about this. Behind every number is a name. Behind everybody is a family. Parents are waiting outside the hospitals. Mothers are searching everywhere in mortuaries to see if they can find their own loved ones. Children are asking questions, but no one is giving the answers. Mass burials don't just erase evidence, they destroy, or they erase the closure. They turn grief into endless pain. No government has the moral authority to decide that people live or death don't matter. No government has the moral authority to decide that people's life or death don't matter. And this is where Kenya comes in. Back in the year 2024, July, decomposing bodies were discovered in a quarry in Kenya. What shocked many people wasn't just a discovery, it was what followed next. The site was quickly sealed off, public access was restricted, and families raised concern that the evidence was being destroyed instead of being preserved. Now, when people see reports coming out of Tanzania, bodies allegedly being destroyed in the cement or assignment or factories to prevent the identifications and accurate casualty counts, the comparison becomes unavoidable. Different countries, same fear, same silence. This is where we must be clear, be keen, and be true about the whole thing that's happening in Tanzania. Africa lives deserve international protection, not selective outrage. Because if a national institution fail, then regional and international bodies must step in. I'm talking about the AU, the East African Community, the UN, the US, and the International Criminal Court, which is ICC. This ain't about politics. This is about human rights, transparency, and justice. Independent investigations are not just even giving any end result, and it ain't an insult to sovereignty. They are a safeguard against the abuse in the country. What makes this even more painful is that the contradiction in many African governments proudly claim independence, democracy, and reform, while practicing repression, fear, and information control. So, you cannot claim freedom while silencing grief. You cannot claim leadership while hiding bodies. And you cannot claim stability while ruling through terror. Alright? This is how dictatorship survives in Africa, by making brutality normal and accountability impossible. And people of Tanzania, let me be true to you. Let me be open with you. And people from Kenya, to Africa, everywhere watching this, don't back down. Don't you ever give up on fighting for your right, for your peace of mind, for your life and everything. History shows us that every freedom that we enjoy today was once called rebellion. People fight, they died for us. They were living happily. Now, demanding for others is not betrayal. Demanding for dignity is not even violence. Demanding for better leadership is not for foreign influence. It is your right to be given all these things: others, dignity, and better leadership in a country. So, Kifa Media will always come here to talk about this, what everybody is afraid of talking about, maybe being kidnapped or something, because silence protects power, not people. If bodies are being hidden, the truth must be exposed. If evidence is being destroyed, justice must be demanded. And if leadership had fallen, then the change must come peacefully but firmly. Africa deserves a better, more than we think of just having normal life. People deserves better, and we will not stop talking about this. If this whole thing hit home, share the video, subscribe here, stay informed and stay courageous. Comment in the comments telling me, what do you think about Tanzanian President Samia Sulukhu Hassan? How does she run the government? Where is she taking us back in those bad years? People are being killed by their own people. Like in Uganda, I know that killed people in Uganda. People have been being killed to survive, to live. Tell me in the comments. I'll come back and play where possible. God bless you and I'm out. Peace be with you. I love you.